Hi, my name is Brooks Libran, and I am joined here with Alem to talk about Remix Dev Tools, something that he's been working on, and I'm super excited to explore because I've never actually used them myself. So this should be really cool just to learn a lot. But I wanted to get started by asking you a little bit about yourself, Alem. Yeah, what are you working on? Why'd you get into Remix to begin with? Why'd you start doing the Remix Dev Tools? All that stuff.
Hello, my name is Alem. So how I started with Remix is actually like a year and a half ago. I got a job through G2I and I ended up working on a brand new project, and the project was in Remix. The owner of the project didn't want to go with Next. He wanted to try Remix out. So we agreed that we're gonna use Remix and see how it goes. And that's like where I started. Then both of us fell in love with it, and we were working with it for over a year now. So that's like the reason I started using Remix. And after like half a year, I wrote a hook that we used in our project with React hook forms to submit forms easier. And I thought, maybe I'll create a package out of this and see if people like it. And I did, and I posted it in the showcase channel on the Remix Discord, and that's like how it all started. I kind of fell in love with open source, and then I created the Remix Forge. And then after that, I said, yeah, let's see if I can create some dev tools. And I did. And I've been working on that for a long while now.
That's awesome. Is this is this kind of your first foray into open source, or had you done open source work before this?
Yeah, well, I dabbled, but I didn't really do it seriously. I think like 2 or 3 years ago, I tried to create like a CLI for React that basically like generates functional components for you and forms
Yeah,
stuff like that. And I created like a small package out of it, and you could like you just type in the name, and it creates like a named component out of it. And that's how I started. And I haven't done it. I actually really loved that, but I didn't really have time to do it. And then I decided to find time with Remix, and that package didn't really go anywhere. It had like 1,000 downloads after like a few months. So
sure.
yeah, after all of these packages kind of exploded, I decided like to spend more time on it. And yeah, that's the, the Remix is my really the first time I'm doing any open source work seriously. And yeah, it's been kind of hard because nobody teaches you how to do it, and like it's
Yeah,
all like cryptic, and you have to like dig some random sites and issues on GitHub, and there's like no help at all. So you just have to figure it out on your own. So that kind of hair pulling and fun at the same time.
yeah, that's fair. And yeah, I mean, I think that's like, man, hair pulling and fun is like just describes so much of programming. Honestly, it's like, I don't know. You have to kind of like enjoy being super frustrated to eventually get to the point where it's like, oh, wow, I finally did like deploy my package or whatever. Like, oh, people are, to get those moments. So
Yeah,
it's super cool.
I'm not sure if the gray hairs are worth it, but yeah, it's fun.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, man. All right, cool. Well, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen here. All right, cool. So I got a fresh terminal open, and I got my browser behind. So I'm just gonna let you kind of tell me where you want to take this. Where do we want to go?
Hmm. Well, I was thinking that we could start with a pre-built stack from Remix, because
Okay,
that way we have a lot of stuff already built, so we can actually like explore it instead of writing a lot of stuff.
cool. So you're thinking like indie stack, I assume, just the easy setup.
Yeah, we can do the minimal one.
Cool, 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 cool. All right, I'm just gonna grab this. Go ahead and run it here. Uh, yep, that's good. We'll just call this Remix Dev Tools demo. There we go. Gotta tell it yes to everything.
Yeah, I love the new CLI look.
I do too. It is, yeah. I mean, the old one like had a few more options, but for the most part, it was just like, it was too much. And then once you realize like, oh, I can just pass dash dash template with anything basically, it gets a lot easier. But yeah, I love how simple it is. Love the aesthetic.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's
Mark did a
really
really good job on
fancy.
that. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done much work trying to like develop like CLIs and like fancy, like pretty terminal output and whatnot. So is
Yeah,
that something that you've had to work on at all with like Remix Dev tools, or is it pretty just like plug and play?
yeah, it's
No kind of
mostly plug
CLI.
and play. I mean, there is a CLI in the package, but it's basically used to run the dev servers, so it's not really
Okay.
something you write in the console yourself. But I did with the React package I told you about, and it had like you could select the folder where you want to output it and stuff like that. That was really fun. But there's a lot of open source stuff that you can really use, and you don't really have to write it from scratch. But Chalk does a lot of work for you, that's for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Now that that did all of its stuff. Also let me hide that. Okay, there we go. So what do I call this? Remix Dev Tools. Yeah. All right, let's open that up. And before I forget, make that super big. Then let's just make sure that this is running. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, sweet.
All right. So I'll be your co-pilot here. So you can just go
Perfect.
to the docs and try to set it up yourself and see.
Cool. Are we doing, did you want to do, because you mentioned you have two things. You have Remix Forge, right?
Oh yeah, you
So this is, okay, so this is a VS Code plugin. Cool.
yes, you can just install it in VS Code. It just allows you to like speed up development by doing a lot of stuff. I mainly
Okay.
use it to like create new routes and for routes and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, a lot of documentation. Nice.
Yeah.
No, this is good. Cool. Yeah, I haven't used it. So yeah, it's really just kind of for scaffolding, routes and things. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so how would I use it basically?
So there are a few ways to use it. So the easiest one, if you open the app directory,
Okay.
you can right click on the routes, and then you can generate a remix route,
Ooh,
a remix
okay.
form route.
That's cool. And so I just
We
give it a
just
name.
give it a name, and then
Oh
you
my
can
gosh, this
like,
is so cool. Oh, okay, cool. And so I can like select the things I want.
yeah, basically,
Wow. Okay, cool.
and
And
then
so then if I go to, whoa, nice. So what does it look like if if I go over here? Is it just like very minimal?
yeah,
Oh,
it's basically just a page that you can.
totally, totally. Oh
There you
man,
go.
that's cool though. Here, let me get these
Yeah,
side by
it's
side.
really nice to like speed up the boilerplate stuff, and you can even like
Absolutely.
if you want to like inject, is this using V2 or
Should be. Let's see. Yeah, 2.3 latest.
I'm just surprised that the request is red.
I think it's just,
It's
oh, it's just
yeah,
the
it's
linting.
not
Yeah.
used. Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that you can also like, yeah, that's also a remix force thing. So if you have remix auth in your project and you want to protect this route, you can just click add authentication
Whoa,
with
that's
the
cool.
log and
Oh,
just
that's
add
super
like
interesting.
it protection for you, and it assumes that you,
Yeah.
yeah, you can actually set up the whole authentication workflow with Remix Auth with Remix Forge. If you right click on the app directory,
Okay.
you can click, yeah, that one.
This one.
Yeah. And then you can
Okay.
select the strategies you want.
We'll just do it simple form for now.
And then it tells you that you
Ooh.
have dependencies that you don't already have, and it installs them for you.
So did it, I assume, yeah, I got Remix
Yeah, and it
Auth and the Remix
installs
Auth
everything.
form.
So it installs all the strategies and everything.
Wow,
And
that's cool.
you get a lot of boilerplate that you can use. And
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Oh my gosh, these linting rules are so obnoxious.
Yeah, that's running way off. I think the code is wrong, and
That's okay. Actually, I don't know why this is bad. What? I don't know where these linting rules came from. These are very intense. I don't. This isn't yours at all. Like you didn't enforce these linting rules, but this is still really cool. Like it just kind of gave us everything.
yeah,
And so then now
you
platform
can
strategy
just
will work.
basically, and if you go to the dot environment, it also injects like the only thing you have to do when you do this is if you, so you don't have any, oh, you do. So
There it is.
here,
Yeah.
yeah, it basically like
Nice.
injects stuff you need. So if you see environment variables added by Remix Forge, so it
Mm-hmm.
injects everything. So all you have to do is basically like paste the environment into here, and you can like log in with Facebook, Google, whatever.
That's cool. That's cool. Nice. Okay, that's super awesome. Okay, I think I'm gonna back out some of this stuff though. And yeah, I don't need this necessarily. Actually, I can just remove this now.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. That's nice that it just kind of has that stuff set up for you. And like, I think I'm definitely gonna start like using this a lot more. I wanted to see this generate the remix
Yeah,
form
it's
route.
kind of great, especially for you when you want to create like a lot of projects and show stuff off. You can just breeze through it.
That's super cool. So when I do a form, what is it? Okay, so you're automatically using React Hook form.
Yeah, you can. So it's a config. So if you, I'm not sure. So it's control comma on my VS Code. I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but basically, if you go to VS Code settings, you can find
Oh yeah.
Forge. Yeah, you can search for Remix, and it's gonna give you. Yeah, there you go. And there's a lot of configuration you can do with it. But basically, towards the middle, there's like a config that allows you to select between remix hook form and conform. So you can actually change it to conform. It's going to generate conform forms.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. And if you go to whatever you created with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this is basically going to handle everything for you. Just add the schema and you just add the fields, you register them, and this handles everything for you.
That's super cool. Okay, and you're using that as well. That makes sense. Okay, I want to do a conform one as well. Do conform. Well, just call it that. Okay, more dependencies. Conform. Okay, cool. Use form, parse. That's your schema. Could be like name. C dot. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Thanks. Thanks, Copilot. All right. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, generates everything for you, so you don't really have to do much.
Yeah. A lot of nice. Gets rid of gets out of the way of a lot of that boilerplate stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
that's super cool.
You just start working on it, and
yeah. All right, I'm gonna move those to the trash. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Anything else with like Remix Forge that you think is pretty cool that you want to show off?
Yeah, there's also a way to actually open up, but I think you need to configure it first. If you go to the settings of your VS Code, and there's a way to and for the settings you can basically change everything. So if you, for example, don't like what's generated by for the loader, for the action, whatever, you can change it here, and you can basically copy paste your code for the way you like it, and then it's gonna generate that instead. But
cool.
What I wanted to show you is I don't even remember the name of it anymore. If you scroll down,
sure. I think I'm at the end.
Yeah, the URL generator. So this is also cool. So what you can do with it is basically, you can.
Yeah, okay. Pass in a custom function to be used to generate the relative part of the URL for the code lens.
Yeah, so if you see the URL generator paths and you edit it, you have to click edit in
this one.
This one, yeah. So here you can basically, so it sets up this for you. So if you save it, and you go to any route.
I'll just do like this one.
Yeah, so you can see over the component, it says open local URL. So
That's
it's up
cool.
in the browser. So you can basically like set up, I don't know, local development, blah, blah, blah. And then you click on it and it's going to take you to your local
Okay.
development to whatever you want.
That's super cool.
Plus, because it's saved in settings JSON in VS Code, you can basically
Hmm.
push that to GitHub.
Hmm.
And it's basically, you can set it up for everybody. So everybody can have the same thing and they can open development, they can open local. So for example, we have a lot of like staging environment, local development, blah, blah, blah. And I always forget the, the links. So I just have them in that and I can just click on it and open it like that.
That's cool. Man, that's awesome. That's super nice. Yeah. That you just have it there. You don't have to worry about thinking about the whole route. What does it do with like, okay, so an example being like an option, one with like an optional, or not an optional, but a dynamic like route. So that node ID.
I think it opens
Okay.
the, yeah, with the world.
It just does. Yeah.
Yeah,
The kind of
basically
naive thing, which
just,
is fine.
yeah, you would have to change it yourself if you want to.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's super cool. So yeah, which I mean makes it's not going to have, unless you're giving it access to your entire database, it's not going to know.
Yeah, basically.
Be a lot more work. That's cool. I like that. That's actually pretty useful, honestly. When you're like, oh yeah, I need to go to this page or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And
what's that? What's that health check? Oh, it doesn't even have an export, so that makes sense. Okay.
there's also one that I really like, the one that I use the most, and it doesn't only work on like routes, it works on every JS and TS file. Is if you
Okay.
open up the Explorer and you right click any of the files, you have generate tests.
What? Oh my gosh.
And what it does is basically, so it generates it expecting you to have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exports. But basically,
Sure.
what it does, it goes through the file, finds all the exports, and then injects them into here with a predefined test. So
Oh, okay,
with
cool. So let me see if I can.
yeah, so with these files, it basically just takes all the exports and puts them there. And if you already have a file and you add a new function, just gonna add that function at the bottom. And
Okay.
that's really useful when you like have like 20 exports in a file and you add two more and you want to integration test them or whatever, you just right click it, generate tests, and it's gonna pop them in the file.
That's cool. Okay, here is a better example.
Yeah.
Actually, like runs through all the different things. That's super cool. So is it okay, so if I do that on like a route, will it pick up?
Yes.
Let's see, let's try one. Okay, so
So
like
the
the
routes are
login, maybe it's
special. What it does is
yeah, that's what I was
basically,
wondering.
yeah, it tries to see if you, so if you click on it and click generate, yeah, so you can see it already. So what it does is basically it creates so for loaders, and so how it works, it checks what the exports are. If they're
Okay.
loaders or actions, it does something special. So for loaders and actions, it creates basically a request and
Mm-hmm.
grabs in context, and this would be basically how you test your loaders and actions, and you just pass in whatever you want, and it's gonna work. And
Okay.
for the default exports as well, it just imports them as a named export on the top, and then you can test that as well. It just renders it with the testing library.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is,
Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So Remix Forge, yeah, just make your VS Code experience a lot better.
yeah.
A lot of boilerplate gets out of the way. A lot of test suites that you can just automatically build. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, should we go ahead and let me actually back out a bunch of this stuff just so it's not we're in a fresh
Yeah,
place. Get
especially
a lot of
the
random changes.
dependencies.
Let's let me get a fresh install.
So before we go to the DevTools, could you just, I'm not sure if this runs on custom server or, oh, it does from what I can see, right?
Is it doo, 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 doo. It should be like a server.js file, right? Or no?
Maybe you can just go to package.json and see the script.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yeah, so this runs npm run dev serve, which runs binode with some mocks, and then it runs at remix run /serve.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a custom server, right? That's just the remix run serve package.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what this means is that you're running remix serve.
Okay.
So if you go to the documentation for the DevTools, so there are actually two ways of, well, not two ways, but there are two parts of the DevTools. First
Okay.
ones are the client ones, and the second one
Okay.
are the server ones. So how they work is the client ones wrap around your root, and they basically inject a component that's a React component, and it has a lot of functionality behind it that does a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And that component tries to, but if it doesn't connect, it doesn't care. It tries to connect to the server part, which basically wraps around your build and injects a lot of stuff for it to talk to the client and do some analysis. Like it analyzes your headers, it analyzes deferred values, and so on and so forth. But
Okay.
it's really up to you how much you want to opt in. So basically, because it requires you to do some setup and it doesn't work in all environments, I
Okay.
Vite plugin will change that, but at the moment it doesn't work in Cloudflare. But basically how it works is it creates a WebSocket on the server, and it
Okay.
basically, whenever you call a loader or a function, it analyzes it and uses that data to do some analysis and send it to the client and show it to you. And I'll
Okay.
show you how it works later. But
Cool.
why I asked you if it's a custom server is there are two ways of setting up the server part. So it's either
Okay.
you have a custom server or if you have the remix server. So how? So the normal servers are really easy because what I did, I basically went to your server package, I copy pasted all the code and just modified it to work with the DevTools. So basically,
Okay.
it runs remix serve in the background, and that's what you're gonna do here. So we'll just have to like change the command. If you scroll down in the documentation,
Oh, and you're okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Man, all the
yeah,
way at the bottom.
it's all-
Okay. It's maybe it should be at the top
yeah.
since people are trying to get started. Oh, man, that's funny.
Uh,
Okay, cool. So
so
I
you
assume I need
run
to
that.
install this. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't. Never mind.
All right. So run that, and then so add the following app to your application root.tsx.
So how about
Okay.
this?
Mhm.
You try to set it up, and I'll just jump in if you have any issues.
Sure. Sounds good. Okay. So you got some styles that makes sense. Actually style your dev tools. So we'll import these just down here, and then looks like your links you're like dynamically. Okay, that you're basically not loading this on development, which is
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Oh
So
man.
the whole idea behind the development tools is that they run only in development. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
there's a lot of checks to make sure that it's not running production. So you
That makes
just
sense.
so you just conditionally import it, and you have to do it with process environment, node environment. Well, at least in the older versions of Remix, because that's what TS Build uses to pre-shake it. So if you have
Hmm.
some custom one like node environment without the process environment, it's not gonna pre-shake it. So that's something to
That makes
keep in
sense.
mind.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. Okay, and then all right, let's see. So you gotta let app export equals apps, which is my default. And then, okay, this is just more setup to handle dev stuff. Okay, so again, if it's development and then with dev tools, you wait this import, which this is not happy. I maybe need to update something.
Yeah, you'll need
In
to.
TS config, we'll see.
Yeah, you'll need to set it up in the TS config as well.
Oop. Okay. So what did it want me to change that to? I should have actually paid attention to 2022. So should that just fix it? Do I need to do both these though?
Yeah, I'll let you try and handle it.
Let's see.
You need to you need to change your. So this is running on CJS, so you can just so because it's either CJS or ECMAScript, this is either await import or require import. So in your case, because you're running CJS, you would have to require it, but you can change the module and module resolution to be ECMAScript, so you can await imports. So it's really up to you.
What do you what do you think is going to cause the least amount of pain in this
I'd just
project? I don't know.
An import for this because we will probably have to change the remix config and stuff like that. So
yeah, I wanted to avoid all that. Okay, so you said just required.
Yeah,
here
just
instead?
without the await, you can just.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm part of an import statement, so that's just an ESLint thing. So we'll just disable that. Okay, so that'll get me dev tools, or with dev tools, and then, okay, yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right, and then we need to export this as the default instead of this one. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna move all this down here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, if I understand this right, this is just saying like, okay, we're just setting this up as app. If you're not in development, all this will get ignored. So it's just like just one extra step to export.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool.
And the good thing is if you have something like Sentry set up, you can just do like on line 49, you can just do with Sentry app and then add dev tools on top.
Cool. All right, sweet. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and you actually called this out, so I could have just kept reading, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, you're good to go. If you want to add the server-side logs and listener, you do one of the following. So should we just get started with what we have, or do you want to go ahead and do all this stuff?
Yeah, so as you can see, so this is the custom server setup. So I assume more people use a custom server than the Remix server.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's why I put it first. But if you go down, because this example uses a Remix server, you can just swap out. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So there is a bin with a CLI that basically runs a dev server. So you can just swap out the command and it's gonna basically run the dev server.
Okay, cool. So I think it's this one. So my dev serve. We got like mocks and all this kind of stuff going on. Hopefully this all works fine. What do you think?
Yeah, so if you look at it, so the dev command runs the dev serve. So what you really need to do is just,
oh, you know what? Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Replace the remix run serve with
this one, right?
Yes,
with
you
RD.
just replace it with mine.
Yeah, well, I think I lost. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, cool.
No, you were good.
All right, React Dev Tools, CJS, serve. Okay, got it. And that should be it. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. And you said this is basically just like a version of the remix run.
Yeah,
basically
it's copy pasted from remix run serve, and the only thing I did was basically wrap how remix server works. It imports a build, and I just wrap it with the server part of the dev tools and give it to you to use as a dev server. So that's basically it. I don't do anything custom. So if you're developing with, so if you deploy it with the remix server, it shouldn't be any different than development. I don't do anything custom here.
That makes sense. Yeah, because and it's just DevTools. So you
Yeah,
wouldn't want it
I
in
don't
the
want you to like have it working locally and then you deploy it with Remix server and they're like, what's going on here?
exactly. Yeah. And I need to pass in dash manual, right? That's still correct. Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So this should just work, right?
Yes, it should.
No.
That,
Package.json. See, did I give something up here?
uh, uh, yeah, so it's trying to find the package. Maybe you can try doing it like Remix development tools / because
Where are we?
I'm not, I never ran it like this, but basically it's trying to find the RDT CJS server package in node modules, which doesn't exist. It's under the bin of Remix development tools. So that's why it doesn't.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Got it. So this isn't even, so what is it? Remix. What's the package actually called?
Remix development tools. Dev tools was taken. So.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So it's like, so you're saying it's like, I don't know if this is actually going to work.
Yeah, I'm not
something like
really
this.
sure.
Man. No, yeah, I didn't like that either. Let me just try running just this and avoiding all those mocks and everything, because I know the indie stack has like a little bit more setup than we probably care about.
Yeah, maybe just replace them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that works better. So yeah, it was just something about the setup that we had. Yeah, I would have decided to. Okay, so you got success, DevTools, web server socket started on 8080. Okay, and then we got this on 3000. Okay, cool. So how do I see them in action? What do I look for? What do I do?
Well, can you spot anything different on the site?
Say it one more time.
Yeah, can you spot anything different on the website?
Okay, sure. Just like. Where's my hat? Oh, there it is at the top left corner.
So I'll help you out on this one. So look at the bottom right corner.
Oh, duh. All right, there we go. Oops. Sorry.
So you're basically
okay.
good to go. So
cool. So it's not like a Chrome, dev tool necessarily, like the React profiler, but you're actually like throwing it on there as a
it's basically like it's the same as test stack query. We also do it like this.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, it makes it. I assume you can use it on more than just Chromium browsers. That's one big benefit of that.
And also cool. If you go to settings, let's just start with the settings so I can show you like you can play with it. So there's a few settings you can do. So open DevTools by default. What it does is basically when you run the app initially, it's going to open with this open already. It's not going to be a sticker on the bottom. So the second parameter is it allows you to basically.
Sorry, that was my bad. I clicked something I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, you just see that you're not going to be able. So you have to add question mark RDT in URL.
Really?
Yes. Because
so how did that work?
So you click to enable a query parameter for it to show. Try RDT is equal to true. I can't remember what the default is. Yeah, there.
Okay. So clicking that completely blew it up.
Yeah. Basically, it requires you to have a query parameter set for them to show, so you can just hide them until you need them, and you can just pop them in with the query parameter. And that's why you don't click it before you read it.
Yes. Yeah, I worry a little bit that people might not realize what's going on. It's
So you
funny.
can also so the hide the trigger until hovered. So if you click on it, that's not gonna cause it to die. So if you close it,
Okay.
so you don't see the trigger on the bottom right, but if you go to the bottom right, it's going to pop up. But
Gotcha.
you can
Okay.
just
Cool,
like
cool, cool.
hide it so it's not distracting.
That's
And
cool.
so the connect.
But
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
wait, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, wait, sorry. So if I have the query param on, it's there, otherwise it's not. Um, okay, cool, cool, cool. That makes sense. And
Yeah,
so if I,
you clicked the
yeah,
wrong setting.
that makes sense. No. I was trying to go through, make sure that like I understood. So basically this is open by default when I go to localhost 3000. This is only show it if I actually have
Yes,
RDT equals true in
yes,
the URL. And then this is just hide it unless I'm hovering over it.
yes.
Cool.
That's like some of the cosmetics, and you can also change the URL flag to use. So if you want to do something else, you can, but you have to, yeah, don't change
Mm-hmm.
it because it's gonna crash. But you get the point. Well,
Boom.
not crash, but hide again.
Yeah, so I'm curious, can you like do you have like a settings file where you could set all this stuff? Like a, remix, I don't
Not
know.
really, because the idea is, well, 90% of this is basically like um preferences. So
Mhm,
I don't really uh, allow you to edit it. I plan to, so how it worked before, you could edit something with the configuration, you could edit something locally. I've changed that to
mhm,
be local to your browser, but I'm
mhm.
gonna bring it back because there are some use cases where you would like to configure it per project instead of per
Yeah,
browser.
m I imagine this is like maybe an example where you'd want this kind of to be the same
Yeah,
in case
yeah,
you're using that for something
exactly,
else.
exactly. So
That makes
no, but
sense.
so not everybody has to set it up by
Mhm,
per browser. But yeah, so this part here, so the connected server dev tools, this is the part I was talking about earlier. So
okay,
if you don't set up the server part, you don't really have to use it. You can just turn it off here, and it's not gonna try to connect to it. It's just gonna be client. And
okay, cool.
that's like, and you can change the ports, so you can set it on whatever port you want, and then you can change it here as well to listen to it. And there are also these configs, so you can change the panel position to be on top or on the bottom. You can change the trigger position to be where you want it to be. You can set it on the top right, on the middle, wherever. Um,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I like
yeah, I usually
what
set it.
oh, yeah, here
Yeah,
it is, right?
you can
Yeah,
set
yeah.
them. Yeah, I usually set it to the top right as well because it's easier. But yeah, it's really
Okay,
up to you. It's configurable, so you can do whatever you want with it.
totally. Have, oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's because I have it open. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense that it would go away. Gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the idea
Um,
is that you can like just you don't show it when it's open because it's open.
sure, sure. Gotcha. I wonder, have you thought about like adding like a hotkey or like the ability to add like a hotkey to where if you hit like, like I can do this very easily opening up the dev tools.
Yeah, that's
Have you thought about something
idea.
like that?
Yeah, you should file an issue. So I can,
Yeah, yeah, it's fair.
yeah,
All
that's
right,
not
I'll do
a
that.
hard thing to do. I didn't think it's
Yeah, of course
yeah.
not. Cool. Okay, sweet, cool. And then somehow you can connect to Remix Forge, it looks like.
Yeah, so the Remix Forge allows you to like connect to your VS Code, and you can run terminal commands from your browser. So you can like
Whoa,
commit
okay.
commit the code from the browser, and you can do a lot of stuff with it.
Dang.
You just have to. So I don't see it, but basically on the bottom right of your VS Code, you should have like a Remix DevTools button. I guess it's not there
Okay, it
because
might
it's
just be
like smaller.
hidden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there it
here we go.
is. So if you click on it
Hmm.
and then you go to the browser and you connect to Remix Forge, the on the top right, on the next to the X,
Right here.
there it is. So yeah, you see, you get the terminal tab, and then you can if you write like it's
Whoa.
there, it's gonna run it in VS Code and give you back the.
Interesting. So can I just do like ls? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so you're just like putting the terminal in here, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That's not even like specific to Remix necessarily. It's just you're just like, I just want my terminal in the browser so I can do terminal things. That's so funny.
Yeah, because sometimes like when I want to push up PR, I just want to like take one more last time that works and I just get pushed and it goes there.
Cool. All right. Nice. And so then if I, oh man, let go. So if I stop it, I assume it'll just go away. Cool. That makes sense. Sweet. Nice.
And that
if I hit
button
this,
next to the X, it allows you to basically detach. Yeah. So I'm not sure where it went. Yeah. So it allows you to detach it into a separate window that you can hold somewhere else. And
cool.
it auto resizes to the window size. And basically it's like you can detach it, put it somewhere on the side, and then track whatever you want with it.
Cool. How would I get it back? Do I just have to close it? You
can just close the window and it's
cool.
back in.
And then it goes back. Okay.
Yeah, basically I wrote an article on how it works actually. So basically it's like it uses local storage to communicate between the windows. So basically whenever you want to close it, the other one is going to pull if the other one is still open, because if you know the window on close event is really like, it runs on basically on everything. So you really have to make sure it actually closed. So it just pulls the other window and closes it when it needs to. So.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of gray hairs went into that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right. Okay. So that's the settings. So you can play around with it more when you want.
For sure.
Let's look at something else now. So I'll let you pick the tab.
All right. Well, I like this routes view. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it is really nice just how it shows. Oh man, that's cool. So it shows all the things and then you can kind of collapse things. We only have, 2 deep in this one. Yeah. That's pretty cool, right? And then go ahead.
Yeah. So another cool thing is if you click on one of them,
okay,
you have to click on the.
Oh, there we go. You have to click on the name. Oh, okay.
The node opens up and closes the child node.
Right.
Text actually opens up the tab. So here you have actually some more info on it, and you can actually open the route in the browser with the button.
Nice.
Yeah, the health check.
That's a bad example.
Yeah.
Let me open this. Actually, sorry. Let me do an incognito browser just so I'm not logged in. There we go. Okay, so back to the route. So it's like, okay, I want to do the join, so I can open it in the browser. Cool. And then is the green meaning like this is present, and the red means this is not present, essentially?
Basically. Okay, and how it works is if you go to the code and add an error boundary to the root.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this is wait. Could you delete that and just right click? And then you have insert error boundary on.
Yeah, there we go. That's so much easier. I'm making this way more complicated. Okay, do I need to give this like a refresh? I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so
cool.
It's covered by the root error boundary. So basically, if you have uncovered routes, you can find out easily by this.
Cool. Okay, that's awesome. So then if I put one in join, I'm gonna do this. Where is it? Error boundary, there we go. All right, and then I need to save that. Hit it again. Okay, so it still says the parent. Am I on the wrong one?
It should be good.
Okay, no, it was just stale, I guess.
Yeah, I think you have to refresh it.
Cool. That's great. I mean, and that's honestly, that could definitely be like our HMR or something like that, more so than the DevTools. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of better on Vite, because while I was developing the Vite plugin, I noticed that when you add, so for example, here when you add a route, it doesn't register until you either hard refresh it or you stop and run the server again. But in the Vite plugin, it automatically adds the node. So that's really cool. yeah, there's a lot of cool improvements with Vite that happen
For
behind the
sure.
scenes.
For sure. That's cool. All right, sweet. Okay, and then you've got like it looks like a list view of this, which
Yeah.
is this just kind of the same thing, or is there any? Oh, okay. Well, one we have a timeline, so that's kind of cool. So is this
Yeah.
just tracking like
So the
everywhere I went?
timeline is a special kind of tab that's always on the right. Well,
Hmm.
not on the right only when you have the node view open because you need to open up the tab on the right. But otherwise, you have the timeline there, and it basically registers all the events that are happening while you're doing stuff. So, for example, this is just a navigation, so it looks really simple. But when you submit
Mm-hmm.
some data to the server, it's actually going to tell you what data you submitted.
Oh, okay.
So
Actually, yeah.
it
Let me.
tells you how the server responded.
Cool. Let me. Yeah. Okay. Actually, this is. I have a reason why I would want a settings config. So going to an incognito window,
Yeah.
I think like you would lose all that. Is that right or no? My
Uh, I I'm not sure.
yeah. Okay, so I've got this in the top right window, but I'm gonna open up incognito, and now it's in the
Ah,
bottom
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
Because
that's maybe a reason. I don't know.
yeah,
Still used to that.
that's another thing you can file.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm coming up with a list for myself to write all this stuff later. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do the login form. So let's see if I can remember what I wrote down earlier. Uh, okay. So we'll log in, and then we can see, okay, cool. So we went to login, then we had a form submission, and then the data that was sent. I know you know my password now. And then, awesome. Okay, that's cool. That's really neat. And then, okay, redirected from login to
This is
notes.
basically tells you what the
Sweet.
server was doing. And
Yeah,
basically, if the server responds with something, it wouldn't be data sent only; it would also be data received. So you would know if the server, for example, if the server responds with errors, you can basically see that in the timeline that the errors were shown, and
that's cool. Okay, so yeah, let's like, well, actually, I think this is an example. If I hit save, I think this will fail. Here we go. And then, oh, okay, then you got the, whoa, wait. Okay, so this was what was submitted, and then the action itself. I'm not sure why. Yeah, where would I see those errors, or do I need to go to this page?
or did it go into an error boundary? Maybe.
Perhaps. Let's see. Okay, so the sentence title is required from an action though, so that shouldn't be an error boundary. That should be the action data would get that title. Yeah.
You're right. Well, for some reason, it didn't register it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
That's
Maybe let me try
that's
it
the
one more time.
first time I'm seeing that.
Okay. Well, I have another error or another issue to file then. But I like that idea. I mean, that would be super helpful to see, like, oh man, what was actually sent back, especially if you're trying to figure out, yeah, like
I'm
what,
just surprised
yeah,
it doesn't register it because it usually does. I mean, I use it
yeah.
every day and it registers what it returned. Um,
Mm.
oh, maybe it's, yeah, I think status 400. Uh,
Oh yeah, is it not going to pick that up?
yeah, I think if you, could you change it to 200 and see if that works? Or, yeah, you can comment it out, whatever. Is it the other
Hmm.
one?
Oh, that's, well, I don't think so. I'll just count both of them out though.
No.
Interesting.
Oh, could you
Hmm.
open up the VS Code? Let's just see what, could you open up the terminal? Oh yeah, so it went to the trigger, then it didn't go into the error boundary because it would log it here. Yeah, so it did respond properly. For some reason, it didn't catch it. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, I'll actually have to investigate this because I
Okay.
never seen this before.
I'll try to get it in a reproducible state, or you can just rewatch the video, and then you'll have it all. Okay. No, I mean, that's cool though. Like yeah, I trust. I'm sure that this does work in most settings, and that is very helpful. Like to have that stuff right there. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So timeline omnipresent unless you're on like this specific page or the settings, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And then go ahead.
so this page is basically the same as the route one. So
Cool.
there's nothing really different. It's just a different way of viewing it. But the cool thing is that you didn't actually discover is if you open up a Slack, so a route with a Slack. So Node
Okay.
MD, for example, if you go down, you can actually change this to be something else. So this is the part that you were
Okay.
talking about earlier. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you maybe you can change the route. Yeah, yeah. See,
There we go.
so you can basically, if you're testing some specific user or whatever, you can just like
Yeah.
paste in the user ID and keep it there and test it. And even if you, so how this works is whatever you save here, it's saved in your local storage. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you're developing something over a period of time, let's say you want to always go to a specific view, you can always save it here, and then 10 days later, you can just go to the specific user.
Cool. As long as you don't open an incognito window. That's the only thing that
Yeah,
works.
yeah. That's
I like that though. That's super helpful. Okay, I'll write I'll write an issue about this. I do have one more nit. I wish I could like this was a link to where I could like right click and open a new window or
yeah, I
like
can do
command
that as
click.
well.
But
That's an
again, that's
easy
probably something I could commit. I'm sure. I'm sure that's pretty easy. So, but still, that's very cool. Oh man, okay, sweet. So I like these views, like that you have both the layouts. Are you just doing this alphabetically? Is that kind of the way it's laid out, or
No, I think
okay?
so. It basically takes the window, so remix. What's it called? So underscore remix manifest
Oh
thing, and it just
yeah.
goes through the routes. I can't remember the exact name.
Let's see. I think you do. I think you might have been right. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes
Routes.
through the routes.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you're just using everything that's already
Yeah,
on the window.
basically,
Cool.
most of the client side is just taking the window objects and going over them and seeing what's what. And it also works. So the active page tab
Hmm.
is the same. So it just listens to it basically is a fancy use matches
Ooh,
that shows you basically everything. So
that's cool. Okay, sweet. So it's like, hey, you're on notes slash this ridiculous thing. Oh my gosh, this is cool too. If
yes,
that actually works the way I expect. Oh no,
it does.
why did it make that?
Well,
Let me try this one. That one worked.
why didn't
I'll do it one more time. It's trying to like make a new file.
Yeah, it's nodes and two dots for some reason.
Is that because I have this? No, I don't know.
It should. So how it works is basically takes the ID and sends it
Hmm.
back. So it should
Hmm.
open up. But this, do you use a Mac?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I haven't really tested it on all browsers. I think it might be something due to paths.
I bet you're right.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
tested. I couldn't really test it because I only have Windows. So it's
yeah. That's all. No, that's totally fine. I think I'm sure it's like a very simple bug fix that someone
Yeah,
could,
probably it's
give you a PR
probably
to.
missing the route ID because it
Yeah,
has two dots. So
this is still really cool. Like, I mean, getting all this info immediately. You got all your loader data right
yeah.
here.
So
This is awesome.
yeah, so there are
Whoa.
three tabs here.
Yeah.
The leftmost one is basically what you get from the loader. So whatever you
Yes.
get from the loader is there. The middle one is either there or not, depending on if you have the server side connected.
Oh, okay. That makes
So,
sense.
so what it does is basically it tracks execution times of each loader. It's so because your app would crash if I saved all of them. I saved only 20 per session. So
Oh, okay.
so if I save like 200, your browser would crash. So I save the
Yeah.
last 20, and then I do averages of execution times on the last 20 requests. I tell you what
Okay.
the headers are, and I also show you where the request is cached. So if you actually go to, could you go to the Note ID route in your VS Code?
Oh yeah, of course. Man, if I can type, fingers are off. There we go. All
So
right,
in
sweet.
the loader, if you pass in a header that basically sets,
Like down here,
yeah. Give it a header and yeah. So cache control, set it to private and set it to I don't know, max say 3,600. Yeah, that's good.
cool. Hold on.
Man, I hate when
I know it's
private has
like
that.
so helpful until it's like not,
Yeah.
until it just breaks things. Okay, so give this a refresh. And then am I looking at where actually? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you can
Right.
see it. Wait, it's not
Did I
here.
mess something up?
You
Hmm.
try hard refreshing it maybe?
Yeah, let me give it a I think I had refreshed.
Are we looking at the right one?
I thought so, but maybe you're right. So we're at nodes. It should be right, I think. Well, let me actually here. I can verify. Network. There we go. Okay, so this guy. Maybe not. Maybe it's. Well, that's no. That's for the loader though, not the actual like page itself. If I go to the loader. Yeah, there it is. So let's see if we got it that time. Oh man,
Yeah,
sometimes
there it
with
is.
these little close. Yeah. So I think what maybe happened. No, it's still not
No,
showing up.
it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. So it goes from.
Oh, I think I assumed this was like.
No, to say.
Wait, I don't understand. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so the last loader call is basically, so if you go up a little bit,
Okay.
so the last loader info is basically the last one called. So you can see the cache info here as well. So it's.
Oh, so this is like, got it. So this is your history, but then this one is not in the history. It's
It is
separate.
in the history, but it's the last entry. So you can basically see it. But now that I'm looking
Mm,
at it, maybe I should like rearrange it so it's the freshest one on the top, so you don't have to really scroll.
yeah, like a stack kind of.
And even if you like,
Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, but it is also here. That's helpful. Cool.
yeah. So even if you like fresh it, yeah, it's
It should work now.
so
Yeah.
how. So basically,
Yeah.
this saves. So the JSON parser that shows you all of this saves the states. So if you do something that actually doesn't like refresh the page, but actually refreshes the loader, you're gonna see the info change. So it's gonna increment in real time. So maybe,
Okay, so like a delete should do that,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Cool. Well, it did actually
Yeah,
move
but it's
everything
not
though.
because it wasn't on the same route. You would have to be.
Okay, let's try another one. Because I think I should just be able to. Well, all these might actually change it. Can I edit a? No, I can't. I don't know if we have a good example of that, unfortunately. Um. Yeah. I'm trying to think how we could set this up. Okay, so like if we're on here.
Maybe you could just have like an action that just does nothing and it turns null. Maybe you can like make the delete,
Mhm.
just delete everything from the action just to turn null. I think it should trigger
Okay,
or refresh.
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we're just not gonna redirect. Actually, well, yeah. I guess we can avoid all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll just
Or do you want it?
null.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're looking here, and you said last loader action. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
it did update.
Yeah, it
Okay.
just
Nice. So if
updates
you're
it.
on the same page, it will update in real time. That's awesome. Which makes sense because if you're on a different page, this is all going to change. So it couldn't show you that.
Yeah, basically.
Um, nice. Nice. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. I love being able to see all the headers.
Oh,
And then, okay. Good.
could you go back to the code?
Hmm.
Could you set private semicolon, because that's an
You're right.
invalid cookie,
Yep. Yep.
the
Yep.
header, not
Thanks.
cookie.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I
so if you refresh it,
think I gave it a refresh.
yeah, it's still
To look.
uh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a comma, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
good thing we have MDN. Oh, right there.
I know.
So I was wondering why it didn't show up, but
Oh,
shows you
is
how
this what you're
long.
talking about?
Yeah, I was trying to show it to you, and it didn't show up, and I was confused. And then I realized why it's not working, because we didn't put the header correctly.
Because I made a mistake. Okay, cool. That's
So
cool. That's super neat.
yeah,
Wow.
so how it works is basically it analyzes the headers, and if
Hmm.
you basically if you go to NDN and read the cache control header, you can
Hmm.
see that when you set it to private, it's going to cache it in the user's browser. So
Yep.
that's going to so we cached it for an hour with 3,600. So you can basically
Hmm.
see here that it's gonna be there and cached for an hour. And then if you refresh,
It reset.
it
Cool.
reset it because you hit the loud. So this works a little bit differently in development. I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, is it because I had disabled cache? Like if I refresh now, would it be? No, actually, maybe I don't understand. Why is it refreshing that every time?
Yeah, I always have to like read the MDN to remember, but
Yeah. Is it not? Oh, I'm sorry.
I know
I
that
wonder if
preset.
I'm somehow busting it.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's see. Okay, so we did private. Let me pull this out a little bit. So if I give this a refresh, yeah, see, it's still coming in. So it looks like I'm not, for some reason, caching it. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah. So basically, when it is cached, it shouldn't reset. I'm not sure what is causing this,
Right.
but for example, uh, why I say it acts differently locally. For example, if you don't set it
Hmm.
to private, if it's public, it's going to be cached on a CDN or whatever,
Right.
which works on a CDN, but it doesn't locally. So even if you set it to be cached for an hour on publicly, it's going to show you that it's cached for an hour. And if you refresh it, it's going to reset because it's not cached in a CDN. But if you have it
Hmm.
cached in a CDN with an image, it's actually going to work. So that's
Yep.
kind of a little bit of a caveat when working with cache locally, but it should work with private cache. I tested it and it's
It
working
should. Yeah. So this time that's
because
so
it's even
interesting. Yeah. I'm
making a
not.
request. And if it's cache, it doesn't make a request. It just gets the
Okay. So sorry, it is working going in between them. So maybe it is something about like a
refresh.
full page is different or something, but like the JSON itself
Yeah.
is getting cached. So okay, cool. So yeah, that makes sense. So your dev tools are doing the right thing. They are telling me the correct
Yeah.
information because
Yeah.
it
It's
was not
just,
getting cached in those
yeah,
situations.
it's just that cache is confusing in its own right. So we should
It's
normally get
yeah,
confused by it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like it's the what the adage is like it's one of the hardest problems in computer science. They say so. It is okay
And
to not get
while
it
I was
right every time.
developing this, I actually made it like cache the route, and I was getting
Hmm.
angry because it didn't like increment the loader count, and I was like, "Why is this not incrementing the count?" And then I realized, oh, it's cached. And this is actually working, but I'm still sick.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's so funny. This is cool. I love, yeah, just being able to see like what
Oh,
is
and
every single
also you
route
can
doing.
also copy everything. So that's
Nice.
the
Oh,
blue
that's
icon.
actually incredibly helpful. Yeah, there are a lot of times when I'm like, I just want the data, especially if you're like, you're trying to like mock something, right? And you're like, I just want to grab everything really fast and like throw it in something.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
even like when you want to test why something's not working, just copy paste it and
Exactly. Exactly. Man, that's so cool. All right. Wow. Yeah, that's a there's a lot of stuff packed into this
yeah.
this little window down here. That's so cool. Nice. Anything else? Anything I see there's a revalidate key. Does that
Yeah, it just triggers a revalidation.
cool?
So
Sweet. Just like
oh,
reloads all
and
the loaders.
there
Good.
is also a feature that I haven't really tested on a lot of stuff, but basically, if you click Control right click on anything on the screen, that's not DevTools. So on their
Oh, sorry, over here.
yeah, I'm not sure what it's bound to. So on Windows, it's Control and right click, but I'm not sure if maybe it's function right click on Mac.
Hmm. Let's tr-
Or maybe it doesn't
Hmm.
even work on Mac.
Maybe it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying
so
all the things I can think of.
yeah, maybe it's because I check if it's the control key. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
That's not. I'm not sure how React registers the event on Mac and if it's set to true.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason. But basically, what it does on Windows is
Mhm.
it's control right click. It basically opens up the location of that component in your editor. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
I thought it would work with function right click, but I guess it doesn't. So that's
Dang.
really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
I have
I'll
to
just
figure out
have to
something else.
like Google if it's a control key or maybe just change it to something else.
Yeah.
But
Man, that sounds
basically,
super useful though.
yeah,
I
how
would
it
love that.
works is basically just so it needs source maps and the Remix
Hmm.
generates those. So how it works is basically it says, okay, this is located here, and then it checks if it has a parent. So why it does that is basically if you have something like a button, it would always go to the button
Hmm.
primitive instead of wherever it's called. And then it just opens up the location.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So it
always
basically would be, it's just
opens
looking
up.
this up.
Yeah, basically. And then
Cool.
it opens it up in VS Code. But yeah,
Yes. Which is
it's
where you want
kind
to
of, it's,
be most of the time. So
yeah, I kind of made it out of the box. Not out of the box. I've made it from scratch. So I couldn't like really battle test it, but it works on Windows only, I guess. But the good thing about this is that moving to Vite, I know that they have like open in editor. Um, oh,
oh, okay.
yeah, there's a feature called open in editor that allows you to open it in an editor, and I think it works in all of them. So even like not only VS Code but the other ones. And I think after I migrate everything to Vite, this feature will actually work on everything, and it's not gonna be problematic because
That's really cool. Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't. That's the unfortunate thing of not owning a Mac. I can't test it on a Mac.
Yep. No, makes sense. It is funny though. Like I feel like a lot of times when there are new open source projects or dev tools or whatever, it's like, oh, it only works on Mac because it's made by a lot of developers who work on Mac. So you're flipping the script on everyone, and you're
It's-
making Windows only features, which I think is amazing. So that's
yeah,
cool.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but yeah, considering that most of people who use my tools are not the Windows, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you have plenty of people, I'm sure, who can test stuff for you, myself included now. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I usually tend to fix them quickly if I
Yeah.
find some issues, but yeah,
Yeah. That's really
um,
cool. That's
it,
awesome.
it's kind of a one man show, so it takes a lot of time. So I try to be proactive and everything, but I can't catch everything.
Oh, absolutely. No, like that's definitely. Oh, I was like, why is this not deleting? It's because I deleted everything. No, man. Yeah, I think it's cool, Alem, that you are working on this, and totally understandable. That's a one man show. Like this is awesome that you're creating these dev tools for like anybody to use. who's using a Remix app. I can imagine that this is like particularly like this alone is so helpful if you are first like getting started with something, especially with like the problem with file-based routing is it like it's fine. It can't, whatever this is using the V2 convention, even if you're using the V1, it's like it can kind of try and help you. Like you can sort of see how the whole thing works through the file system, but like eventually you just hit a point with any kind of large application where there's just I don't think there's any construct as a file system that lets you truly grok like what your whole route is. But this is it. I mean, this is awesome because it's a treat. Like that's the way that we think about routes. And so this just visualizes it immediately. Like this alone is awesome to me. It would be so helpful if you're like jumping into a new Remix app for the first time.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite features as well. And we have,
Yeah.
so the project I was telling you about has like over 150 routes. So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it's very great to visualize them like this. And even like when you want to switch from a screen to screens, for example, if you want to go from point A to point B, you would have to usually go like, I don't know, you go from this to a dashboard, then on the dashboard you go to something, and then from there you go to that. And this way you just click it and you're there and you don't really care. And that's like
Yeah.
the fun of it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But
That's really
I
helpful.
haven't shown you the most fun feature.
Okay.
So the errors tab that I've added
Oh
just
yeah.
recently. So we don't have
Cool.
errors here, but let's add them artificially.
Okay.
So
I'll go
go
back to that.
to the route we're on. I think it's Node ID, right?
Yes.
All right. So if you go down to the component, so could
Mhm.
you like nest forms here?
Just like that.
Yes. So this is invalid.
Mhm.
Is it nested?
It should be. Yeah. I mean, I'll throw something in here. There we go.
Oh, is it the
Definitely
route
is.
cache?
Oh, is it? Hold on. You might totally be right. Maybe it was caching it then. I don't know. Let me remove the cache though and give this a
Yeah.
totally new, just like incognito thing. Maybe, yeah, this is always the problem with the private cache is you can totally goof something up in a wild way. All right, let me log in again. Oh, also let me get this up. Okay, so I'm going here. I'm on the errors tab. And then if I go here, I think I do have, oh wait, no, you know what? Sorry. This is, yeah, where is this form actually? Because I don't, no, this form is, yeah, so this form is for the delete button. So it's right here. So there's a form with a form in it.
Could you go to the console?
Which console?
Yeah,
There,
that
here.
one.
Yeah. Okay. So here's an issue.
Yes, and it should register it. That's what I'm
Hmm.
confused about. And the route isn't cached, right? So if you go to active page, it's not cached.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm gonna refresh again. But yeah, we got disable cache on and yep. Looks like it came through.
Uh, Interesting. Could you go
Mm,
elements? I just want to check something.
of course. Yeah, what do you want to see?
Oh, interesting. Okay. I now know why there was an issue with. So the reason that go to code didn't work is because the way that the DevTools work is they hook into the React hook for the DevTools. So it's called window.react something. And it basically attaches a bunch of IDs to everything of the document. So in theory, that same hook that attaches the IDs also finds the hydration mismatches, which means it didn't
Okay.
run at all for some reason. I'm not sure why it didn't run this project, to be honest,
Hmm.
because it should have the React hook available.
Hmm. Interesting. No idea.
Could you do like in the console write window dot
You want this
yeah,
one?
that hook. So it's there. So it just didn't run it. Oh, is the renderer empty? It is, right?
The renders is, yeah, it looks like no entries.
Or
Yeah.
like, yeah, so it goes through the renderer entries which are not present on this project, which is really interesting. I don't know why they're not present.
Yeah, no idea.
Maybe
That's super weird.
we can like try running fresh project and see if it works there.
Yeah, maybe something about the ND stack for some reason. Cool. Let me so let me close this. And then is it this? I think that's right. Let me close all this stuff. Oh, I am gonna actually need the dev tools again. All right. So once that
Wait,
loads,
Did,
go ahead.
did you do the minimal template? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just did like the base thing. Basically, I didn't add a template flag at all.
Yeah, that should be really easy to.
Oops. I think it's, yeah, this. Okay, cool. So let's set this up real quick. I'm an expert now, so it'll be really easy. All right, so we want that. We want the styles and root. I think I just need to cut this part. Okay, and then we'll add all this at the bottom.
I also think I'll have to do required here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, call out. I don't know why it's set. Oh yeah, that is correct. We do not want to do that. Okay, cool. And then we don't need to do any of that, right? We already did everything, and then we just need to update this.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so that should be good.
I should have checked this first.
No worries. Dynamic require is not supported. Oh, maybe this is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is CGS, so I think we're okay to do an await import. It just doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's. Well, you can just add the module here. It's missing one.
Where do we want to add that?
No, it's under above module resolution bundler. You can just add the module that it requires. It's, yeah, I can do whatever.
Like that, or sorry, I'm not totally understanding what you're wanting.
Yeah, you can, yeah, that's good.
That works?
I mean,
okay, cool.
it's, you can change it to whatever I mean, not whatever, but there's a lot of them that work, so.
Got it. Okay, so it's just missing that module. That makes sense. Very cool. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Could you like inspect the.
What do you want to see the.
Just show me the elements. Okay, now it works. Could you try control right click now? I want to see if it. Well, welcome to Remix or something. Yeah, I guess it's some acting then.
Oops. Oh wait. Hey. Okay, it was control right click. Actually, that worked.
Yeah, it basically opens up the file that it's located.
Whoa. That's cool. Okay, so it was basically something was going on with the dev tools, essentially, or with the with the remix. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the in this stack that causes this, but yeah. So now let's go back to the four.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So you want me to add a form with a
form?
Okay, cool.
You can just Yeah, you don't have to use the remix form. You can just use the normal.
Just any
You know,
form.
yeah.
Cool. Cool.
And now
So
it's
if we do
saved,
that,
and then refresh it. There we
okay,
go.
cool. So now this will
All
highlight
right.
that kind of stuff.
And well,
Nice.
obviously we caused this, so it's obvious what's going on. But
Mm-hmm.
these can be very subtle, hard to track, and this actually tells you where it is. And if you click on it, it should open it up in the browser, in the code. Yeah,
Yeah,
there.
that's cool.
And well, this isn't the same file, but if you, for example, have a route that
Mm-hmm.
wraps the outlet with a form, for example, and then you do a form inside of there somewhere, it will detect
Mm-hmm.
the issues. And there's also like other detectors, not only nested forms, but a common offender of this is if you put a div inside of a P. And for example,
Mm,
let's say you have a title that's a P, and then in the title you put a div. And that will also
yeah,
cause a hydration mismatch. And if you reflect
yeah,
it, yeah, there it is. And this is like really easy to run into, especially if you're doing something like using like a reusable component that can be a div API or whatever,
totally, totally.
and you can basically
Okay.
detect hydration errors with this one.
Yeah, that's helpful. That's super helpful. And then I'm also getting these,
Yeah,
and here it
these
looks like, but this is a little more dense. Yeah.
yeah, and also it doesn't really tell you where it
Oh
is. It just
gosh.
tells you
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah. It's
hydration.
like div inside of P inside of here, and then you're like, okay, wait, what's that? And then it's like, what is this? So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And I feel like when people see like a giant block like this, your eyes just kind of roll in the back of your head, right? And you're just like checking out. So no, this is like exactly what I want. Oh, okay, the parent element is located here, the child element. So like, oh, okay, so this is a good example where it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll just call it like component, and we'll render it here. And then this guy, all right, I'll just like add him here. Uh, a function, right?
yeah.
Actually, I don't want this to be default. And so then if I import this, we'll actually get it
Or
like
you can look
super
for it
helpful.
from React.
Yeah, I think you're right. I probably should have named it that. So,
That's a blast from the past.
yeah, yeah, that is totally forgot about that. Okay, so okay, well, it's still saying the parent element. Hmm. I guess that's true because that is the child element, the way that it's like rendering it.
Yeah,
It's more
it's more
like
of a like he doesn't detect like uh, where the origin of the component is, but rather it was called
where the
whatever.
call site is.
Uh,
That does make a lot of sense, actually.
that's what I was
Got it.
talking
Okay.
about earlier with the primitive and the parent stuff. So it's going to check if the primitive has a parent. If it does, it's going there, and otherwise it goes into the file itself.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Because
it's still like,
if you have if you
yeah.
have like let's call it text, and if this text is like used everywhere, you don't really care that it's inside of the text component because you know that that component is used to render text, but you don't know where the origin of the issue is. So, for example, if we had
Mm-hmm.
something like, I don't know, user dropdown and then, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, user options, and both of them use text, we don't really care that it originated in the text component. We care that it originated in the user dropdown and the user option. So that's how it works.
Cool. Cool. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for walking through that. Yeah, that is super helpful to see these kind of errors show up here. Sweet. Anything else, or is this the full overview of the Remix dev tools?
I think that's it. I can't really
That's
remember
awesome.
anything else.
Cool. And I know you mentioned that you've been working on kind of a Vite plugin. Is that something you want to show off real quick, or is that
Yeah,
still in
let's
the
do
works?
it. I'll
Okay, sweet.
just
Do I need to start a whole new project?
yeah, and do a Vite one with 2.3.
Yeah. I always, oops, that's not what I
I
wanted.
always Google that as well.
Here we go. All right. So I'm just going to get started with this one this
I,
time.
I
So
need to like put this command on like a yellow sticker and put it on my PC. I always search for it.
I know. Seriously, yeah. It'd be cool if also like, I don't know. I guess it maybe doesn't make sense, but like I was like, oh, could the template have like, could there be certain aliases that are like even simpler than this? It's kind of long to remember, but
Yeah,
maybe that would get unwieldy. I don't know. That's a problem for I think Mark to think about and handle. Cool. So
it's
this is gonna get going.
it's
Is there?
great when you can
Oh,
offload work.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't actually have to develop. Like, if it's the website, if you tell me something's broken on remix.run, it's actually probably my job to go fix it. But if something's broken with like, anything remix dash whatever, and you're like a package, not my fault. I'm not gonna fix that. So okay, so what do I call that? VTem, I think.
Yeah, in the
Cool.
developer world, that's like assigning somebody else to the Jira ticket.
Exactly. Okay. What do I need to do?
All right. So, did you set up the Vite project? You did.
Yep, I got the V project going.
All right. So,
Verify that's running.
yes.
Yep.
So,
Cool.
okay. So you just need to install Remix development tools, but with the pre tag.
Okay, remix development tools. Just like that, or is there a specific?
Yeah, it's pre. And we'll go to the packages and just we can verify that
Yeah,
that's
we
it.
can verify.
It should be the release candidate.
Mm-hmm. That's still.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this is still not. This is still a work in progress. So if something fails,
It's not your fault.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's gonna get there. But it's
No, totally.
yeah. I'm towards the end of it, but there's still a lot of
Yeah.
things I need to test and like develop. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, this is still unstable, so like you're totally good. There's no expectation
yeah.
that you got this
I should
working. So
mark it as unstable as well.
yeah.
That's so people
That's a good idea.
pull out
Yeah.
pitchforks. All right. So here you just need to input or remix the tools from. So this, yeah, but it's a subpath from.
Oh, okay. And then is it a default export or am I?
Yeah, no, it's like that. It's, yeah,
perfect. And then
I don't like.
theoretically, this is it, right? Or no?
Yes.
Whoa, I'm so excited. I really hope this works. After having to re-implement it twice the first way, I really, really want this to be it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Wow, that totally worked.
Yes. So,
dude, good. That's awesome.
From Vite onwards, it's just gonna be a plugin. So,
yes.
So all that we did just now is handled by the plugin. So I transform the root, I inject everything that you need, and it's rendered. And you don't have to worry anything. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, and also now that you're here, I forgot to show you. So if you go to settings and if you go down towards the end, you can change the last one, the route boundary gradient, you can change it to watermelon. All right. So if you go to active page,
back to active page. Is that what
and if you hover over any of the routes, it actually shows you.
No, that's helpful.
The boundaries of that route.
That's super nice. Let me oh man, yeah, you had, what was the command? Just I want a new route. We'll call it nested route, or call it something else. Okay, and then I think that's it, right? Because that'll automatically do everything I want. Say cool. So then if we go, whoops. And then I actually want a nested file as well. And so in here, do another H1, which is a mistake.
You will also have to do an outlet, so it doesn't.
Yes, exactly. Thanks. So let me actually go back into this one just to do the semantics right. All right, cool. So now we've got, okay, cool. That's awesome. So you can actually see like what is my whole route. That's so cool. Oh man, I'm so wait, is there a gradient on this? Or am
Yeah,
I making that up? It goes green. Okay, cool.
it's
I was like, am I
it's the
making that up?
watermelon team.
That's great. No, yeah, so I'm a little bit color deficient, so I never
Uh,
trust my eyes fully. So I wasn't sure if that was my eyes doing something
yeah,
weird
there's
or
a gradient.
no, I love it. Yeah, the watermelon theme is it's great.
Yeah, and the
Oh
full
man.
disclaimer, I had this before the watermelon
Whoa.
incident.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, there we go. And if you don't know what the watermelon incident is, it's not worth knowing about, but you just
Nothing.
have to go back into the remix lore to figure that one out. So if you have no idea what we're talking about, well,
Yeah,
you got your
hopefully
homework
they
cut out
don't
for you.
find my mascot I made.
That's cool. I'm even wondering like now that you have this, like, yeah, it'd be super nice to just be like, oh, what are these things like? Yeah, like dev port or whatever.
Yeah, that's
You
how it's
know,
gonna
that
work.
would be so much easier to even pass those in there. You don't even need like a
Yes,
config file. It can just be a config here.
that's how it's gonna work, but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
No, yeah, this is totally down the road. Just makes me excited that it's like, wow, this is so easy to set up. And then this, I assume, doesn't work when you do like, I mean, we can just do it here.
yeah, it might work
There shouldn't
there.
be
I'm
any
not
dev
sure.
tools. Oh, you
I
haven't
haven't
maybe shaken it yet.
figured. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it crashes.
Well, something else broke, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
nice.
because the dev tools are trying to be loaded in build. I'll fix this because I just
That's fine.
work in development and that's it. I need to be.
No. I think that's great.
I need to like make.
I'm also sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I need to make it not work in production.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also impressed. Like, so you've even got like the styles and everything loading automatically. So Vite just like
Yeah, basically what
gave
I
you that.
do is I check if you have a links export in the root. If you don't, I add my own with the styles. If you do, I just push my styles.
Nice. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and this is also fast refresh friendly. So yeah, there they are.
That's cool. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Sweet. That's really cool. I'm super excited that yeah, you've already like got this working. And again, like this is unstable. So like that the fact that you already have this on the Vite config is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep kind of using this. And when we like upgrade the remix docs to use Vite, I'm still trying to decide if I want to do that before it's fully stable or not. But this will be so easy to just be like, oh, let me just plug in like the the dev tools and just like check it out and
Yeah,
check out what it looks like to see all these different routes and stuff.
yeah.
Because one fun thing you think about this is like, oh, good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I feel like the biggest pain point of the development tools is the fact that you have to like configure and set them up, and with Tweet you don't. So that's like that. My
Yes,
biggest issue is that for every project I have to like wrap the app export, I have to wrap the server stuff, and with this I don't. I just plug it in and I'm good to go.
exactly. Man, that's so cool. I love it.
There are two more things I forgot to tell you about. So the first thing is if you go back to any of the notes apps or daily stack,
Okay, let me see if I can pull that up really fast. I think, man, what do we call it?
so if you go to the
Okay,
repository again, so
to which
the
where am I going? I'm sorry, I think you cut out. Say it one more time.
So if you go to the Remix Development Tools repository on GitHub,
Okay.
so if you scroll up to the codes part, you should see plugins, a plugins directory. It's fourth from the top. Yeah, so
Yep.
this directory is basically plugins that you can insert into DevTools, and you can actually write your own plugins. So, for example, if you want
Okay,
like
cool.
create a user on the backend for yourself, you can just like add a new tab with a create user button, which posts to some route. It creates a user, blah blah blah. You can do whatever you want, but basically there are some like community, well, not community because I wrote both of them, but I said this up so everybody can add plugins here. And you can basically just like go into any of them, open up the code and copy paste it into your project. And then you can just basically inject them into DevTools and use them as a plugin. So for example, this here is meant to be used like if you have a lot of icons, you can have an icon library plugin in your DevTools that you can open up and you can click on the icon, copy it, and then you have the code good to go. Or this one, it's a Tailwind
Cool.
palette, and you have all the colors from Tailwind like in a separate tab. You can like click on the colors, copy them, paste them in your code, and blah blah blah. And yeah, my vision was
Nice.
for people to add stuff here, so I'm still hopeful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
The last thing I want to show you, and that's actually easier to see on the Vite plugin.
Okay.
So if you open up so you can just like,
Yeah.
if you go to the root, and could you just like add a loader in the root that exports and I don't know, returns null, whatever. Yeah, and you can save that. So if you open up the terminal,
Oh, the terminal.
yeah, we'll need so you can see it here. So the DevTools, so the server side that I was talking about does two things. The first one is it sends data to the client, and the second one is it logs a lot of stuff. So what it does is basically it logs whenever a loader or action is triggered. It also logs if there was an error thrown, what the error message is, if there was a redirect, and stuff like that. And for example, if you, it also analyzes headers and logs some certain things. So if we add a cache control header in the return statement.
Oh, in the return? Okay.
Yeah. You can just return JSON with the cache control. Yeah. So you can see,
Nice.
so it tells you what route was cached where and for how long, and it turns it into real time. So if you do like 360, it's gonna do 1 hour.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, is that quite right?
That's
Oh, yeah, I guess
minutes.
no, that works. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I understand. That's cool. Yeah. Nice. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it can log a lot of stuff. It also, there's a special header, what's it called? Cache, something that basically busts the cache. I'm not sure if you know what it's called. If not, we can go to MDN, but basically when you, I think maybe it's disposition something. Oh, there it is. It's called clear site data.
Clear site.
So right under the cache code.
Okay.
Yeah. So what this header does is basically it clears the cache. So if you copy paste this into the loader.
Do you want it?
Yeah, just delete.
Should I have both? Does that
make
sense?
We can do it like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So see,
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
And it tells you what you delete.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And also,
Nice. Yeah,
one more thing. So if you return the fur here instead of JSON,
Mm-hmm.
And let's say, could you create like some random promise that resolves in like 2 seconds? You can just call it like
All
const
right.
test is equal to,
Okay. Do you want to
yeah,
await this or what?
yeah, no, no, I want to
Or just
return
send it?
it as, yeah, just return it like that.
Cool. I don't know what that blew up though. Did I do something wrong?
Oh, you
Oh, you
didn't
know what?
return anything from it.
Cool.
So if you run it again, it should work. You have to like open it in the browser and then go back to the,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, see. It basically tells you, so if you have more, the, like, this is just a dummy scenario, but it basically analyzes how long it takes for the third values to be returned from the loader. For example, you can see that the loader here returned in 0.25 milliseconds, but the actual,
Mm-hmm.
the third value returned in 2 milliseconds. 2 seconds.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. 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 2 seconds. Yeah. 200 or 2000
Yeah.
milliseconds. Nice. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. 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 That's that. I bet that's super helpful in a non-contrived example, right?
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
actually do have something
Basically.
like waiting. So yeah, that's cool. Nice. What if you have like
I think if you do
multiple
add another
of
one with
these?
like a different timer, it should.
Okay. So it's a deferred value detection root test and test two. Nice. Okay, good. That is what I was hoping it would do.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Yeah. I like that. Awesome.
And that's pretty much
Dang,
it.
that's super cool. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for showing me that. Sweet, Alem. I really appreciate your time and yeah, working on these dev tools is super awesome. I hope this is helpful and to other people if they haven't used the dev tools before. This is like, I think hopefully the most comprehensive guide you have in video form
Yes.
at least of the dev tools.
Yeah. We went
So,
through pretty much everything. You don't have to use everything. You just like pick what's useful for you and then you go from there. I mean, I have a lot of features in there, but I like use 2 or 3 of them all the time. And then the other ones just rarely. The other day I was like working on something and we had like, so we have a text component that renders like a p tag and there's a markdown component that renders markdown and it's rendered on the server. So it basically caused hydration mismatches because we had uh, basically like a div tag inside of a P that I was telling you about earlier. And it was like 5 nested files apart. So it's really useful to find those kinds of things.
oh man, that's cool. No, I can imagine that that is incredibly useful. So that's cool. I'm glad you've been able to use it and actually like have like positive experiences and it's helped you solve things and whatnot. That's always like a good test of if something is good or
Yeah.
not.
I usually build it for myself and then I hope other people like it. So
Exactly. I think that's what a lot of people in open source do.
yeah.
Sweet. Well, yeah, thank you again, Alem, for your time. I definitely wish you the best of luck with all this. Hopefully, I don't know, by the time this video is out, I'm sure the Vite compiler will be even in a better place than it is. But again, I don't think you have to get it stable before we get ours stable. But I think it's a bright future for anyone who's excited to use these remix dev tools.
Yeah, I'm hopeful as well, and it's been fun exploring Vite as well. It's taking a while to like get comfortable, but I'm starting to get a hang of it. So hopefully it's gonna go smoother from here.
Cool, cool. All right. Well, again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Brooks. You too.